Okay, Hamza, we get it. You want to be a fitness YouTuber. Despite being a self-improvement coach, his online course is about working out. And if you bought this course, you should be asking for a refund. Unlike me, he's not qualified to be writing workout programs, and it became clear when he released this awful video. You call fitness YouTube a scam, and for the most part, it is. But your gym advice is an even bigger one.
If you really want to build muscle, don't do anything underneath 8 reps. And even 8 reps is actually a little bit too heavy. If you want to build like a bodybuilder, if you want to build like an attractive, aesthetic body, lots of muscle, you need to use like the lower rep range. If you're focusing on hypertrophy, if you're focusing on muscle gain, not strength, but muscle gain, you want to look good, you need to choose a higher rep range. And even 8 I found is like very heavy, even for compounds, honestly. I found the sweet spot is the 10 to 15 rep range.
Hamza's determined that the 10 to 15 rep range is the best for muscle growth. Why? Because he feels like it does. And anything under, you're training like a power lifter. The research has shown that anywhere between 5 and 30 reps all elicit the same amount of muscle growth if you're training near failure. So he's factually incorrect. But if you read any muscle building textbook, which Hamza obviously hasn't, it'll tell you that 6 to 12 reps is the best rep range for building muscle. The reason why is not because that rep number magically builds muscle. It's because the time under tension in that rep range is optimal for muscle growth. However, some people find time under tension overrated. But even if it isn't, training intensity will always be the most important factor when trying to build muscle. Hamza's advice to his Jeffrey fan base is that you must confine yourself to a 10 to 15 rep range because anywhere under 8 reps you're building too much strength. Like, what does that even mean?
And even 8 reps is actually a little bit too heavy.
To maximize or train for strength, you need to be lifting under 6 reps because the weight you're using is heavy enough or intense enough to elicit a strong strength stimulus. The main issue with Hamza's 10 to 15 rep range is that even if you find a volume or rep range that your body responds well to, you're going to eventually hit a plateau, especially when you're not giving your body a strong enough strength stimulus, which is under 6 reps. I personally train for hypertrophy and never lift under 6 reps, but I do incorporate a lot of my training in the 6 to 8 rep range, which still prioritizes hypertrophy, Hamza. The fact I have to remind him this is ridiculous. Working in the 6 to 8 rep range has allowed me to get 1 rep max estimates of over 2.5 times my body weight for deadlift, 2 times my body weight for squats, and 1.5 times my body weight for bench press, while still prioritizing hypertrophy at the same time. If you incorporate my advice and work in hypertrophy training under 8 reps, you won't plateau and actually will get strong as hell. If you stick with Hamza's advice and never go under 10 reps, you're going to make slower progress and you will plateau. Lifting for hypertrophy is all about getting close to failure. And the higher reps you go, the harder it is to hit true muscular failure. That's why I personally never go over 15 reps when I'm training. This is because of limiting factors like mental fatigue, muscle burn, and cardiovascular stress. So training in Hamza's recommended rep range will make it harder to get strong and will actually make it harder to hit true muscular failure at times.
Probably comfortably hit 60 kilograms for 15, let's see. Yeah, it was pretty good stimulus. I could probably go heavier next time. Then what I do is once I know what I could hit for 15 reps, I then reset back to 10 reps with a heavier weight. So now I'll do 65 kilograms for 10 reps. Yeah, that was kind of easy. Let's do that now next week for 11 reps, 12 reps, 13, 14, 15. And eventually you will get to the point where you're actually being deeply challenged by this rep range. What I found is obsessively trying to add more weight to the bar makes your progressive overload go to shit. I think the way better thing to progressively overload with is reps. I think it's nice having a quite broad rep range, 10 to 15, and it takes maybe a month to go through the 10 to 15. Sometimes for a lot of people, you know, especially as you get like later on in your training career, it can take months to go from 10 to 15.
You know why it takes you months to go from 10 to 15 reps with the same weight? Because you aren't getting a strong enough strength stimulus, dumbass. Hamza does not know how to program efficiently. How do you expect to get stronger where you're not lifting anywhere near your 1 rep max? If you're consistently working in a 10 to 15 rep range, you're hardly ever going to be lifting even over 70% of your 1 rep max. How are you supposed to build muscle if you're not working in a variety of rep ranges? Your body is smart. Your body's going to adapt if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. This is why it's recommended that you change your workouts every 4 to 6 weeks. You will keep the core or compound exercises the same. You're going to change the rep range and the rest time so your body can't adapt. And you keep providing a new stimulus to your muscles. But Hamza's probably saying that makes it harder to progressively overload. No, it doesn't, because you're getting stronger. The easiest way to progressively overload is by getting stronger. And when you change the rep ranges, you provide your body a new stimulus. And despite this, you're still prioritizing hypertrophy if you're within the 5 to 30 rep range. If you do squats for 10 to 15 reps for 3 months, you're going to see very slow progress. But if during the 3-month period you do squats for 4 weeks for 6 to 8 reps, then 10 to 12, and you keep changing it up, you will see far better progress.
The powerlifter propaganda that's out on the internet right now is so so rampant. This is like the original like multi-level marketing scam where these fat powerlifters only care about the big 3 lifts, and they'll tell every young guy to lift the big 3 lifts, and they'll ask you like what your 1 rep max is. To look good, to be a bodybuilder, you don't need to know your 1 rep max. You don't need to test it.
I guess since I lift under 8 reps, I'm a fat powerlifter. Yeah, Hamza, you're right, I'm fat. Hamza says to look good, you want to look like a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders don't look good, bro. I made a video on the most aesthetic body type, and in that video, I went over a survey of 1,000 women choosing what body type they prefer. And it's a lean or athletic body type, and it's not even close. Hamza and I both agree that all guys live for girls, and the only guys who don't are the guys who can't admit it to themselves. If you're trying to live for girls, why are you trying to look like a bodybuilder? A physique that's a turnoff to a vast majority of women. And no, you don't need to know your 1 rep max. You got something right, Hamza.
If you have a low body weight, you need to bulk because you need to up the body weight to become like a man of respectable size and strength and mass. What I would say respectable for a man, at least above 180 pounds. If you're like an average height guy, like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", you should aim for like 180, which is way heavier than most people would actually get to. And if you're taller, like I am, I'm 6'1" and about 190 pounds. I want to go up to like 220, 230, 240 pounds. You want to be thick as a guy.
No, you don't, bro. Hamza's assuming that size is what makes you attractive. Then why don't any bodybuilders pull? It's the shape that matters. You want an athletic V-taper physique. There's a reason male models don't look like bodybuilders. And what an athletic V-taper body looks like for everybody is different. For me, I'm 175 pounds right now, but I look far more aesthetic when I was 165 pounds a few months ago because I was leaner, my waist was narrower, and my abs were chiseled. Here's a clip of me recording a short at 165 pounds. That was me at my aesthetic peak. I like how Hamza says you need to up the body weight to become a man of respectable size and strength, but I thought strength doesn't matter. I thought strength is what makes you a fat powerlifter. Hamza trains like a bodybuilder, which is why he's stiff when he does anything athletic. Hamza's 6'1" and 190 pounds, which is a low weight for his size, but he's lean, which is why he has a great physique. So he's telling you to do the opposite of what he's currently at and gain bad weight to become a man of respectable size. Hamza makes a point that you're not building muscle because your testosterone is low, which is true, but then he says this.
The 5th reason that you're probably not building muscle, you probably would think it's that you're not sleeping enough. Sleep is important for testosterone and muscle, but the truth is that a lot of guys who are jacked actually don't even sleep that well. There's student bodybuilders, you know, guys who are in university, who party, who take drugs, who drink, who go to sleep at like 2 a.m. I was one of them, and still build an okay amount of muscle. Now, yeah, you can say they've got noob gains, but some of them are pretty jacked whilst they're like, you know, you can imagine the college frat boy who's drinking alcohol and going to sleep at like 4 a.m., sleeping for like 3 hours before he needs to wake up, and they're still building some muscle. So I don't think sleep is like as important as we say it is.
Sleep has the biggest effect on testosterone. They did a study on young, healthy men, the same demographic you use as an example, who underwent a sleep restriction to 5 hours a night for only 1 week. Their testosterone levels went down to someone 10 years their senior. But yeah, sleep isn't important. I'll just build muscle like I'm in my 30s. And sleep negatively affects your gym performance. So Hamza telling people to not prioritize their sleep is just irresponsible. Saying sleep isn't important isn't true, and it's actually one of the most important factors to building muscle. In this video, Hamza takes shots at fitness YouTube, which I don't consider myself a part of, but his whole take seemed fake. He had this aggressive attitude towards it, and he was very dramatic. If you're gonna be dramatic, at least give out good info, man. He acted like he was some hero stepping in to protect his viewers from the BS that the fitness community provides. Fitness YouTubers are scamming you to make a quick buck, and they're only telling you what you want to hear so they can make money off you. So here's Hamza's unconventional, unfiltered opinion to save the day.
I think I built a pretty good physique. I certainly could have built even more muscle if I did the right things. I wasted years of my training with just a couple of mistakes. First major one was I unfortunately believed, listened, and trusted the fitness YouTubers.
But Hamza, you're the one that's providing the BS. He isn't qualified to be giving out this information, and I wouldn't care if he wasn't qualified if he gave out good information. The fitness information he's providing his audience is gonna make it harder for them to build their most attractive body. On the other hand, I'm actually qualified to be giving out fitness information. That's why I stepped in to expose it. If you want the perfect workout split designed by someone who's actually qualified to write a program, check out this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.